Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a beautiful blood python. I want to share another one of my animals with you and talk a little bit about blood pythons. They are absolutely one of my favorite species, and it's great raising up this group of blood pythons that we've been picking up, and this is no exception. This is Bellatrix. Hopefully you can see her there. And she is very beautiful. And she is one of the blood pythons that can undo that myth that blood pythons are these angry, bitey things that don't make good pets or anything like that. That keeps a lot of people from even trying out the blood pythons or keeping them as pets, or they had a bad experience maybe years ago when we didn't know as much about keeping this species. A lot of times, or back in the day, people were keeping these like they would other exotic pythons, retics, berms, even ball pythons. And it was causing a little bit of confusion because they were a little cranky about it. So people would keep them at the same temperatures they would keep, say, a retic or a berm, or even a ball python, 90-degree hotspot. What happened was we found out that blood pythons don't like to be very hot. We do want to keep them warm so they don't get respiratory infections, things like that, just like any other exotic python. But in the case of blood pythons, they do like it quite a bit cooler. I wouldn't put a 90-degree hotspot on these guys. They do very well with low 80s ambient. I try to shoot for about 83 and have a temperature gradient a little less and a little more. And even if I have a hotspot on them, it's in the mid 80s. So, but this particular snake, Bellatrix, is a BATIK matrix. You'll notice she has a different pattern than usual. The spotting all along here, that's the BATIK. The BATIK name comes from the pattern, the BATIK pattern. Like they have different patterns in design, like paisley, polka dots, and in this case, this is a BATIK pattern. She is also a matrix, which is another incomplete dominant trait, both of which have a superform. So this is a snake that has two incomplete dominant traits, and both of these can can manifest in a superform. So the matrix form creates this creates an ivory snake, while the BATIK, the super BATIK, creates a super form that's similar, kind of the khaki color, often described like a champagne blood python or ball python. But there are problems with the super BATIK having quite often the problem with kinking, smaller eyes, and survival rate. And of course, the clutches on the super BATIK, if you put two BATIKs together, don't do as great. And so you probably don't want to put two BATIKs together. But the matrix form does create this beautiful ivory animal. In this case, this animal is just displaying the two incomplete dominant traits, the BATIK and the matrix. So they call this one a BATRIX or BATRIX. But what it does is it breaks up the side pattern of the BATIK animal, the BATIK in this one. The matrix does that. And the matrix, you can tell which one is a matrix often by the tongue. They have a pink tongue instead of a black tongue, the way a normally colored animal or even a non-albino animal would have a black or dark tongue. But in this case, she's a matrix and a BATIK, so she does have that pink tongue. And if you'll notice, I'm handling her very freely, and she is not showing any signs of distress, any signs of aggression, of defensiveness. She's a wonderful animal, and you could tell I'm touching her head, I'm touching her face, and she does perfectly well. These blood pythons don't like to look at the camera, but I keep trying. I keep trying to turn her around and see. You can see her face, but it just shows how calm and very handleable this animal is. Blood pythons are a little awkward handling, so I do provide a little bit of a shelf here. There you go, she kind of rested there. Hopefully you can see that. But they are very very fun animals to keep. And this one particularly is especially calm. When it comes to any snake, they're going to have personalities, temperaments. They're going to be different. Individuals will show variation in temperament, in tolerance of handling, things like that. Just like with any snake, there are even mean ball pythons out there, right? So whenever you hear somebody tell you about that, but blood pythons are so mean, you can tell her all about Bellatrix here, and she's super nice, and she's super tolerant of handling. See, I touch her face. Never, ever tried to bite me. The only thing she ever tries to bite is her food, and she has a good feeding response. Wonderful animal, wonderful blood python that I've been enjoying. I picked this one up from GX3 Reptiles a while back this year. I think it was back in April 2024. And she's been eating and growing quite nicely. And so big thank you to shout out to Grant and Riley out there at GX3 Reptiles in Sacramento. We have picked up several females, and this is one of them that I wanted to show you guys, to tell you guys about blood pythons and how awesome they are. I want to get more people excited about blood pythons, and to show you that this is a good example to show you that they are not necessarily bitey as a species. It just comes down to, one, how you keep them. Of course, babies, when you get them, they might be a little bitey for a little while, right? But that's pretty much with any baby snake, right? You pick up a pet bull snake, and it's going to hiss, and it's going to try to bluff, or it might even bite you. And there are even, like I said, mean ball pythons, or rather defensive ball pythons. And so it just comes down to how you keep them, how you raise them. This one in particular, I think, comes down to personality, because I think she's always been this way since I first got her. I know while they had her at GX3 Reptiles, she was one of the favorites because she is so easy to work with and no issues at all. And there is a spectrum on their personality and how easy they are to handle from their hatching, from their birthday. But this was a special one because she has been chill ever since she was little, as far as I know. And certainly ever since we picked her up. She is a very cool snake, very beautiful animal. And I can't enjoy her as much as you can. Of course, you guys know I can't see. I'm legally blind. I see little more than light and shadow, and so I can't enjoy her pattern like you guys can, but I wanted to show her to you guys so you guys can enjoy her. If you guys are thinking of a new species to keep, or you've always wanted a blood python, I highly recommend that you try it out. They are an animal that needs their needs met just like any other, but they are, in my opinion, no more difficult to keep than any other exotic python, as long as you know what to expect with them. And I think it is my opinion that if you raise up a baby and they become accustomed to interaction with you, they are a species that you could certainly earn their respect, earn a wonderful temperament in the animal, because they do learn. They are not just these dumb animals that can't adapt to their environments, and that are just simply, having that reptilian mind, survive, right? And so they're not going to be this animal that's going to be incredibly defensive all the time. They have a bad reputation, to say the least. But I did want to show you Bellatrix. She's a beautiful animal. BATIK Matrix, showing two. This is a 2-gene animal, I guess they would say. And show you how calm she is, how wonderful she is. And to give you an idea that blood pythons can make excellent pets. And certainly if you're looking for a new project, I highly recommend you pick up the blood pythons if that's something that interests you. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Bellatrix. Let me know if you've ever thought about keeping blood pythons, but maybe some of those stories about blood pythons that kept you from trying them out. but you could see how calm this animal is, and hopefully she'll change your mind. You guys got to try out blood pythons. Get into the blood python game. There are more and more morphs coming out. Surprisingly, a lot of incomplete dominant traits in the blood python morphs, but there are more and more morphs coming into it so we can play with them and put them together. Like I said, this is a 2-gene animal, and more and more people are putting multiple genes into one animal and creating some beautiful, beautiful examples of the blood pythons. Pied blood pythons are now available on the market. There are a few people that have them. They're pretty pricey right now, but like the pied ball python took off and did wonders for the ball python game. Perhaps the pied blood pythons, once the price comes down, of course, will become more and more popular, and maybe attract people to keeping blood pythons. There's also pied Burmese pythons now, and they're very beautiful, and people are having a renewed interest in keeping Burmese pythons. It was kind of stagnant for a while, it was all the same stuff, but the pieds came out, and people are really interested in keeping those pied Burmese pythons. So take another look here at BATRIX, the BATRIX or BATRIX, BATIK MATRIX Blood Python. 2 incomplete dominant traits in one, in a beautiful, calm, amazing animal. I want more people to get into blood pythons. And as we raise up our group of blood pythons, I want to share them with you. See how calm she is. She's awesome. She's awesome. Awesome animal. I would have no problem allowing this animal to be held by a young child. She would make a good education animal, and there's no reason you can't get a blood python to be this calm. Although she is this calm, I think due to temperament, personality, the genetics that way, you can breed them for temperament, and it seems to pass on when you do that. But in this case, I certainly think that it was genetics and temperament that created this one. But I have other ones that I've been raising up that were a little more shy, a little more defensive when they first got with me, and just with some simple handling the right way, and understanding how these animals think, you can create a very very handleable animal with no problems, not having a biter. I'll show you my other ones. If you haven't seen my other one, when I showed the goldeneye het albino, I'll post a link to that one, and you can check that one out if you're interested in checking out more blood python morphs. Showing off BATRIX here. I'll let you guys go now. Thanks for watching. If you guys are interested in this sort of content, if you're interested in blood pythons or even ball pythons and other snakes and reptiles, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll continue to show off our animals that we've been raising up. And if you're in the 209 area, Northern California, be sure to check out Central Valley Herpetological Society. Amazing group of reptile lovers here in the northern Central Valley of Northern California. You can find our Facebook page and see updates on that, on our next meeting, and meet other people that are crazy about reptiles. If you meet me, I could talk to you about blood pythons all day. I love these animals. Anyway, thanks for checking out BATRIX. Get a good angle as we go. Well, I could try. And I'll see you, or you'll see me, in a future video.